Hello, guys. I thought we'll first of all introductions. My name is Lyric,
And I'm Jack.
and we thought we meet up all the time and we talk football. And there's not a really big Australian channel that talks football that much, and it's particularly hard for us because games over here, due to the time difference, start at 3 a.m. and we kind of make it a point to catch up and watch football for our teams all the time, but. We do have our weekend catch-ups and whatnot, and we always talk football. So we thought, as content, we might as well give it a shot and create some content. And if you guys like it, it would be appreciated if you could, give us a like and subscribe and share because we're relatively new. We're trying this for the first time, and hopefully there's something out there for each one of you, and you like it. And once uploaded, obviously we will as the channel grows, or if we can continue to keep this up, we will sort of do some more live interactions and more shows. Currently, we're starting it on a weekly basis, and then we'll see if we need to change the frequency of it.
Yep, definitely. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to mainly touch on the EPL, but we're going to go through a few other leagues as well.
Yeah.
So, there's some exciting things happening out in the football world at the moment, and by exciting, I mean not all the favourite teams are winning the other leagues. I think only in the UK, really, we've got Man City at the top. Spain, we've got Atletico sitting at the top.
Yeah.
Barca chasing, but still behind. Then over in Serie A, we've got is Inter or is AC at the top at the moment?
AC is still on top.
AC at the top.
AC is quite close. Inter's quite close, and Juventus are a few points behind as
Yeah.
well. So, yeah, it's not the favourites apart from, I guess, here apart from the Serie, apart from Premier League, not the favourites that win every season. They're not the ones winning it this season. So.
Yeah. And even in France, in France, it's a bit all over the place at the moment. So
Yeah.
that's always nice to see. Obviously, they're going through a few more troubles though right now.
Yeah.
TV deals. If that gets scrapped, you could hopefully it doesn't, because it could see the end of a lot of big clubs.
Yeah.
A lot of really big clubs. I mean, the
Lot of
likes of
good-
PSG will be fine, and the likes
Yeah.
of Marseille will be okay, but.
Yeah.
A lot of other clubs potentially could be in a lot
I mean,
of,
I know we all love to take the mickey out of it, and we call it the Farmers League, and let's not. But at the end of the day, there were three teams in. Was it three? There were three teams in the semi-finals of the Champions League last year from France, wasn't it?
No, not Champions League. I think Europa League would be. Was it Champions League?
Champions League wasn't.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, wasn't it RB Leipzig and
That's,
PSG? and,
Leipzig's Germany, mate.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. No, but I remember Mbappe putting a emoji up and saying, "Oh, Farmers League." And
Yeah.
there was a tweet in there, which was quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think the French league is good. There's lots of talent in the French league, as we all know. Like the French national team's on a roll as well. And I think it'll be a shame to see that league drop off. But yeah, hopefully something works out, or someone helps them out. Because the TV deal collapsing with no fans in the ground. It makes it really hard to keep
Yep,
the
really
club
does.
running and people employed. I guess there will be a lot of people losing their jobs as well. It's not just the players and the club, but there's so much behind it that goes on, and so many people that get employed. So it'll be bad if they end up losing the league. So hopefully, with all the stuff that's going on with COVID and all of that, hopefully they find a way to bounce back and keep the league going. Really.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity for all the bigger teams, I guess, across the globe to pick up some players, though. I think they will have to sell, obviously.
I think that's what's going to be happening a lot. To
Yeah.
be honest, I think a lot of the Premier League clubs, for instance, they're going to be moving into Brexit as well. That's a new time for Premier League.
Yeah.
We're going to see what restrictions that's going to cause. Obviously, we know about a few of those already, but I think the French league is actually going to get absolutely absolutely exploded with everyone else coming in and nicking their players. Not from PSG, because they've got that heavy level of investment, but there is so many clubs in France who have one or two amazing players who could fit into any major league in the world, and I think the Premier League and the German league, and probably not so much Spain at the moment. They're struggling for money as well a little bit, but maybe even Italy, who were struggling for money for so many years, who are not as much now, might come in and take a load of those players. So I think it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
All right. Do you wanna talk about the first game this weekend, being Leicester and Liverpool?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Leicester, Liverpool, two teams which are going in very different directions suddenly compared to, I guess, the last season. Leicester was doing well, but Liverpool's kind of dropped off a little bit, and you see Leicester, they're doing really well. Obviously, I feel like Brendan Rodgers kind of doesn't do it in big games sometimes enough. He does perform, but not enough. I remember the last Leicester Liverpool game, the first one that they had, and I thought, well, they'll give Liverpool a good run for their money, but then Liverpool absolutely played them off the park.
Yeah.
Like really, really played them off the park. There was not even a chance. And then you've seen teams like Brighton and Burnley sort of use, counter attack or really deep lying sort of defense, deep block or low block, whatever they call it nowadays, and basically nick games out of Liverpool, which is in Anfield, which is huge thing compared to the 2 seasons that almost they've gone out without a run. And I know you personally feel terrible about it, but I'm kind of happy that Liverpool.
I'm a Liverpool fan, and Lyric is a Man United fan, so it kind of adds a little bit more spice to when we're talking about those 2 teams. But as a Liverpool fan, I've been kind of disappointed with the way we've been playing, but I did expect it to come sooner or later. I'll be honest, I didn't expect to lose 3 in a row at Anfield. I think Klopp's been such a fortress for us for 3 and a bit years, was it? 68 games, I think. Phenomenal record, and then we lose 3 in a row, which we haven't done for a long time as well. So I think Liverpool are on a turning point at the moment. I think with Jurgen Klopp unfortunately losing his mother, it's a big thing that's happened. I have a feeling that this team want to get behind him. Probably give him a little bit of a boost there, so that could potentially help with the result. We do have good results against Leicester since that Jamie Vardy goal that he scored against us from 40 odd yards, which was phenomenal, and again still gives me nightmares. But yeah, I think Leicester are such a good side. I actually enjoy watching Leicester when they're on. Similar to Leeds, when Leeds came in the Premiership, no one knew what to expect and were they going to keep playing the same football. And Leicester, a team who I really want to tune in and watch. Whereas 15 years ago, if I saw Leicester on, I would probably be like, "Yep, let's turn it over."
And I keep thinking, they I don't know, there was an absolute robbery when they sold us bloody Maguire for 80 million, but they've got the likes of Fofana, Soyuncu, and all of those guys who are playing. Evans, who was like nowhere near the Man United playing squad, and then he's doing fantastically there. So I do think Brendan Rodgers is a very good manager. I don't know if he's a title-winning manager, but he is a very good manager, and he gets a lot out of his team. Especially, you can say that it's only the youngsters, but then Jamie Vardy is quite, even though he doesn't behave like one, but he's quite old. And we all thought that whether we were sort of thinking whether Brendan Rodgers will be able to come in and take him up a level as well, and he's done that.
Yeah.
So he's a really good manager, I think. And like I said, I love watching Leicester play, and I always think that what if they sell a few of their players now? I don't think they'll need to sell. Firstly, they're doing quite well financially as well, with the Malaysian owners and all of that. But if they do end up, and if some big clubs come for their players, they can steal an absolute fortune. And then on top of that, the scouting system's so good that they let Chilwell go, and they get another amazing left back, and they let anyone else from midfield go. They'll get someone else.
They don't seem to be too affected by it. You're right. I think we were talking about it the other day actually, Eric. The scouting there is phenomenal. I think they've become the Southampton, but they keep hold of their players a little longer than the Southampton.
Like the Southampton team does.
Everyone was robbing from Southampton, particularly us for a while, but I think Leicester are holding on to their players and then finding all these youngsters, and it's really interesting to see.
Yeah.
But these new players coming through, but then the likes of Vardy sticking around and actually making it. Such a solid squad. Tillman's in the middle. I think he's phenomenal. But yeah,
Madison's on fire suddenly since he's back from injury.
Yeah,
absolutely killing it.
He really is. He's staking a claim for a Euro 21 spot or Euro 20 spot.
So what's your prediction?
My prediction.
Mind you, this is not in Anfield anyway. But
My prediction is 2-1 Liverpool.
All right. I'm going to go with the 2-0 Leicester.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Well, I hope that doesn't happen. There you go.
It'll be a big moment if that does happen, because that'll be 4 in a row, and that sort of puts a dent in top 4 hopes. So it's going to be hard. And I do think Liverpool do better in big games normally, but I just feel like looking at what they've done in the last 3 or 4 games, Leicester might adjust their game a little bit and start playing a little lower in terms of a low block and try and catch Liverpool out that way. It was shocking to see Alisson have such a terrible game. And you know what? 3 years since he's had his last mistake, and credit to the guy. It happens once in a while. I feel like he was not well enough to come back, and he was rushed back from his illness. So once in a while, you all big keepers make mistakes. If it gets frequent, like the likes of De Gea, then I would be worried. But it's nothing for a goalkeeper.
I'm not concerned about it at all. To be honest, I think once he's got a solid front two in front of him, might give him a bit more confidence back as well. So.
And the other thing about Liverpool is, like, there's a lot of talk from the pundits and social media and everything about how terrible they've been as champions and this and that. And I think you've got to draw some similarities from what happened with Man City last year after they had 3 amazing seasons, and they had a drop off. And right now they're playing amazing football without technically a number 9, so to speak, and with both Aguero and Jesus out, and they're killing it this year. So maybe Liverpool are due a break a little bit, and people should cut them a little slack, which sometimes in today's world, quick results no one wants to do. I think they'll be fine next year again, to be honest, when players come back and they'll be a little more sort of rejuvenated. I'm sure they'll add to the squad. You need to make a few changes to that squad generally, Firmino and the likes of it, just to give them a little competition and whatnot. So I think they'll be fine next year. I think they need to sort of relax the season. You draw that parallel again with Klopp's mum passing away, and he can't go and visit. With Guardiola had a sort of a similar issue last year, and I feel like it's fine. It's not a big deal. Even Alex Ferguson didn't win every season, every year. You have to have a bit of a drop off, and then the only thing that would concern me is they didn't sort of build this year. I thought they would have used this year to build their squad a little bit while they dropped off, but maybe they didn't expect the drop off this year, and injuries didn't help.
I think the injuries have definitely
and injuries didn't help. Yeah.
All right, well, we better move on because we've probably talked about Leicester for a bit too long and Liverpool for a bit too long. So let's move on to Crystal Palace Burnley. Not too much to talk on here. There's a couple of standout players, but I think the big one is Burnley's in a great run of form at the moment. The problem is their only goal scorer in Woods is potentially out this weekend.
Yeah.
So if he's out this weekend, then I think Zaha will make Burnley pay for it. To be honest, I think we'll see a Palace win. I
feel like it will be a draw. You think Palace win?
I think 3-0 to Palace. Yeah,
really?
I do.
3-0. That's
I know
a good scoreline for a defensive counter-attacking team versus Burnley, because they love to defend.
I agree. I think it's about time Burnley are gonna actually get taken to the knife, but it's gonna be by not a big club. So I think Crystal Palace will. I shouldn't say that. I know. Apologies to any Crystal Palace fans, but not one of the big 4 or big 6 or big 8 clubs, whatever you call them now. I think it will be a big win for them though this weekend.
I remember having the discussion right at the beginning of the season when Sean Dyche was amongst the bottom 3, and there was people saying that he might sort of not make it this year, and sort of similar to Eddie Howe, but I felt he was always a different kind of manager. His mentality was quite good, and I didn't even doubt it. I knew that they wouldn't be relegated at all. And with the way they were operating, no players, nothing else, because of the whole takeover going on and all of that, I think, and to be honest, Burnley are a different kind of football team. They're just young, strong boys, or if anything, if I feel like they just sort of play and push defensively, give it all. Every challenge is 100% challenge. They play for the manager. He somehow gets them motivated. So I think it'll be a boring draw, to be honest.
Okay.
Well, a 0-0 or a 1-1 boring draw.
All right.
That's what I think. I think Crystal Palace will have more of the ball and more chances, but I feel like if Burnley nick a goal, fair enough, then Crystal Palace might do one as well. But I feel like it'll be although I do have to credit Roy Hodgson. He's done brilliantly. Against my expectations of the last few years with Crystal Palace, he's done amazing.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
I agree with that. All right, so next one is quite an exciting one. City versus Spurs. Now, I get excited by this because I think it's going to be another goal fest, much like the game today. So I don't know when we'll upload this video. We'll do it before the weekend. But of course, Spurs against Everton 5-4 this morning in the cup. That's a pretty intense score. I can imagine Jose was having a bit of a scream at his players, or he left without talking to them. Who knows? But yeah. So what do you think of the City Spurs?
To be fair, when I saw that Everton